Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to see about William Shakespeare, the bard, poet of Avon. We all know William Shakespeare and it is very interesting also. Yes, we will see. Before that, if you not yet subscribe my channel, kindly give us subscribe. Kindly click a subscribe button and click the bell icon which is near to that to have a notification. If you like my explanation, give a like and share among your friends. Kindly support me by subscribing my channel. Yes, we will start. So when we see the birth and death, we all know that William Shakespeare was born in a bard. Yes, Stratford upon Avon, that is in London. Born on 1564, and his parents were John and Mary Shakespeare. And Shakespeare's genealogy, that is, we will see next how Shakespeare died and when he died. Okay, see here, this is the house, that is a bard upon Avon where Shakespeare lived, and it is the house of Shakespeare. Yes, next. And here next we can see that Stratford on Avon in Shakespeare times. We saw the house of Shakespeare, and here we can see the map how the Stratford on Avon in Shakespeare's time. So it is the plan of Stratford, that is the map of Stratford. So these are all the places, and during a Shakespeare's time it is, and you can see how the routes were drawn, and we will see how the current, that is today's, maybe this century, how the living area of Shakespeare, that is a Stratford Avon, have changed into like this. Stratford upon Avon, that is today's map. See how it is improved while during a Shakespeare's time and now after the time of Shakespeare. Yes, we will continue. Next, this is the birthplace of Shakespeare, and this is the house of Shakespeare, we can say. And death, during 1616 only he died. At that time he is a 52 years old man. He was a 52 years old man. Possibly on his birthday date, it is the death day of Shakespeare. In his tomb, that is the epitaph, that is a good friend for Jesus' sake forbear to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed be ye man, years past this. Maybe it is written in their language and we couldn't read it clearly. We will see, at the last we will see the clear line which is in English, that is a proper English. Yes, okay, this is the death period of Shakespeare, and in terms, so here you can see the Shakespeare's tomb. Next, married life. Married in 1582 to Anne Hathaway, who was pregnant at that time with their first daughter, had twins in 1585. Sometimes between 1585 to 1595, he moved to London and began working in theatre. And this is the house of Anne Hathaway Cottage, that is Anne Hathaway's cottage. And when he married, and then Shakespeare and Anne Hathaway got twins, and these are all the married life of Shakespeare, and you can see the cottage of Anne Hathaway. And during the 14th century, Italy, then England, that is a renewed interest in science, commerce, philosophy and the arts, emphasize on individual freedom of choice. So this is what happened during the 14th century. During that time only Shakespeare lived in that period. It is called a 14th century. Shakespeare's period, that is a century, is a 14th century. And here you can see how the England become, and it during that time they were emphasized on individual freedom of their choice. And then next, 14th century we saw. And then next is the important, here I have given where I have taken from the source, and we can say it is also an when we say it is an age wise, it is an Elizabethan age, 1558 to 1603. And Renaissance, during that time and the Renaissance were peaked in that time, and last of the Tudors and unmarried Queen Elizabeth I, and she was a patron of Shakespeare. So we can say who is the patron of Shakespeare, that is Elizabeth I is the patron of Shakespeare, and she was a queen during that time, that is during that Elizabethan age. The Elizabethan age is 1558 to 1603. And we can see Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth is a very, very beautiful lady, and it is a 1590s. 1590s is an Elizabethan age period. We can say it is in a short. Queen Elizabeth, that is the first Queen Elizabeth I, ruled during that time, and the important events were that is the English explorers were crossing the ocean to the New World. English explorers were crossing the ocean to the New World. They were crossing to the New World, that is, and travelers coming to England loved watching plays. Okay, during Elizabethan age only, many travelers were interested to watch plays, so that only during Elizabethan period the plays were increased in many numbers. When we say plays, automatically it is an important one, isn't it? Okay, next we will see the education of Shakespeare, where he studied and how he studied. Okay, when we take education, how he entered and what are the things where happened. Probably attend the King's New School in Stratford. Shakespeare studied in King's New School in Stratford, rhetoric, logic, history, Latin. But was he actually educated? No. When we see Shakespeare learned little but was experienced more. Learned little but experienced more. This is King's New School where Shakespeare studied, and next we will see how I have taken this picture. I have given a source where I have taken, and this is the King's New School where Shakespeare studied. When we take his works, he has written a plays, that is a 37 total. The 37 plays were split into comedies, tragedies, histories and problem plays. Okay, see, Shakespeare has written 38 plays, but 37 plays were only completed. Only 37 plays were completed. Okay, next we will see what are the plays, how it divided into comedies, tragedies, histories and problem plays. I told you during Elizabethan age only many travelers were come to England, and they were traveling from ocean to ocean, so they were interested to watch plays. That plays were enacted in the theatre. So during Elizabethan times it were increased. So Shakespeare has written more plays, that is a 38 plays firmly attributed to Shakespeare, but only from that 37 plays were completed. From 38 plays, 14 comedies. Like examples are All Wells, that ends well, As You Like It, The Taming of the Shrew, and among 38 plays, 14 were comedies and 10 histories plays, that is a Henry IV and Henry V. In Henry IV we have a parts, and Henry V also we have, and 10 tragedies, like example Macbeth, Romeo Juliet, like not a full tragedies but partially tragedy, 10 tragedies and 4 romances plays. And these are all the plays when written and published, when it has written and when it has published. So it is a very very important one. All the 38 plays were there, but only one play were unfinished. That play may be a Pericles. I think it is a Pericles, but it is not a confirmed one. I will tell you afterwards. That if you anybody know, you can tell me what is the unfinished play of Shakespeare. I think it is Pericles, but I need to confirm it. Okay, next we will see how the plays, other works of Shakespeare. So Shakespeare has 38 plays, and among one it is not a uncompleted, that is unfinished one. And next he has written a 154 sonnets, that is a sonnets. When we take a sonnet, 154 in total. In that he dedicated the sonnets to dark lady, young man and old man. That is number 3. Shakespeare's sonnets were written in 3 quatrains under rhymed couplet. That is a 2 lines. That is a iambic pentameter, 10 syllables, stressed pattern. We will see what is iambic pentameter. And the Shakespeare rhyme scheme of sonnet is AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, G, G. So it is an important one of Shakespeare. Shakespeare followed the English sonnet, but the rhyme scheme alone differ. What is meant by iambic pentameter? Iambic pentameter, we have a meter in our poem, that is in our poetic style. And iambic pentameter is a sound pattern. I am one uncentered syllable with one accented syllables. One unaccented syllable with one accented syllable. That is one unaccented, we can say it is as a unstressed. It is like a heartbeat. Bubum, bubum, bubum. 5 bubum is a row, make one line of iambic pentameter. You can, when you read a word, you can see it. Example, he went to town today to buy a car. You can see. Next, he has used blank verse, that is unrhymed iambic pentameter, and soliloquy, one person speaking, one character on stage, only the audience can hear. And then assign, one person speaking, several characters on stage, only the audience or one character can hear. So these are all the techniques and language which was used by William Shakespeare when he write a drama, that is a play or a sonnet or whatever it may be. Blank verse, soliloquy and aside. So these are all the famous techniques and language. And next we will see, and he has written a 2 long poems also. And important one, allusion and comic relief. Allusion, reference to an outside person, place, things or a thing or idea. And comic relief, that is a comic relief is nothing but humor to relieve emotional intensities. So these are all the techniques, and that is a techniques language which was used by Shakespeare. And Shakespeare has written a 38 plays and 154 sonnets, and 2 long narrative poem has also written by Shakespeare. The playwrights during that time, Christopher Marlowe, Thomas Kyd and William Shakespeare were a playwriter. And you can see when we say the playwright, we can see automatically the theatre. So these are all the theatre which was familiar in during a Shakespeare, and that is the Elizabethan period. The theatre built in 1576. Here you can see the map, and where is the theatre, which is a very very near, close to each other. The theatre built in 1576. And then the Rose, the theatre name is the Rose, built in 1587. London's first Bankside Theatre. So which is London's first Bankside Theatre is the Rose. And the Swan, 1595. And the Globe. The Globe is the last one Shakespeare helped construct in theatre. One who helped to build the theatre is the Globe. Next, about the theatres, we can see this is the Globe Theatre. Protestants condemned the plays. So Protestant people condemned the plays, and theatres were on the outskirts of London, away from the authorities. People who attend the theatres included. And then the persons who were coming to the theatres is merchants, lawyers. laborers and prostitutes. So Shakespeare has written a place for all the persons, from small working laborer to the rich person, visitors from other countries, nobility and royalty. So many peoples come and visits the theatre. So particularly the Globe Theatre, built in 1599. This is the Globe Theatre, and which is near in the bank of river Thames, and this is the structure of the theatre. That is a 3-story wooden frame, open country yard, raised platform, stage. So these are all the thing we can see from theatre. It is a Globe Theatre. Those times no lighting will be there. Now we can see the lightning style are there, but during those days, during Shakespeare time, there is a no lighting technique, and you can see how the theatre, that is a inner wall and outer wall, and no scenery, and just a curtain will be there. There will be no sceneries, and could hold around 2000 peoples. The curtains were like this, and these are all the inner, that is inner thing in a theatre. And next we can see a theatrical convention is a suspicion of reality, and here we can see that is no electricity in theatre. Those days no electricity, and women forbidden. Women cannot come and watch there. And then women were forbidden to act on stage, and minimal, and then contemporary. So costumes will be there. So there is minimal scenery. There is a no proper costume, and there is a no sceneries. They are not having a proper thing. So this is these control the dialogues, and it is the one more, how the Elizabethan age theatre will be there. And there also, that is the most expensive seats were directly behind the stage. That is the expensive seats were directly behind the stage, and people sitting there could only see the actress from behind. And there also we can see how the rich and poor people will be there. Rich sat in seats, enjoyed the flowery verses. Poor, they used to sit down. That is, a poor sat on ground, enjoyed puns, crude humor and prose, groundling, penny stinkers. So these are all the thing where rich and poor people, they can sit in theatres, and that is a fact. Actors were all males. Young men played women, wandering nomads, because women were not there is a women forbidden to act in the on the stage. So young men, they played themselves like a women. They will take a women role. If the men is a young men, they will take a role of a woman, and they will enact on the stage. As we saw already, that is a soliloquy and assign, the types of speech were used by Shakespeare, and blood and supernatural element, that is the use of supernatural element, and bloodsheds were there in Shakespeare plays. That is a supernatural elements is nothing but maybe a ghost or ill omens, like that. So these are all the audience loved to be scared, and the types of speech and audience loved to be scared. These are all the thing were encouraged to watch the plays. These are all the techniques were used by Shakespeare to increase the audience to be present to watch plays, and use of disguises and mistaken identity. So we can see in many Shakespeare plays the disguised characters, and the last speaker highest in rank in tragedies. And in tragedies we can see the last speaker who highlights all the things, and multiple murders in tragedies. So these are all the things which increase audience to come and watch Shakespeare plays, and multiple marriages in comedies. And we can see in many many comedies it has happens. So when you read the plays, sure you also will enjoy. And the sceneries and costumes, there is no curtains or lighting, as I said before. Only a little sceneries will be there, and had props and sound effects and the elegant costumes. So the actors were put hard to do their best to show the audience all the thing which has Shakespeare has written. So these are all the things we can see how the theaters, inside the theaters, and what are the things will happen in the theater, and how the enactors explained or enacted their way when they acted, and how they use their language, and what are the elements were in a Shakespeare plays. Yes, next. Members and later part owner of the Lord Chamberlain's Mints under Queen Elizabeth I, the Globe Theatre, built in 1599 by LCM with Shakespeare as primary investor, later called the King's Men under King James I, burned down. The theatre was burned down in 1613 during one of the Shakespeare's play. What happened between 1593 to 94, we don't know what happened to that companies, because of Shakespeare plays, the theatre was burned, and they were rebuilt the Globe Theatre, and this is the rebuilt Globe Theatre in London. You can see the picture of the Globe Theatre, which is rebuilt after the burned one. So this is the rebuilt theatre in London. Because of one Shakespeare plays during the period when they enacted, because of that the thing were burnt. And as I told you, that is in Shakespeare's epitaph. This was written: "Good friends, for Jesus' sakes forbear to dig the bones enclosed here. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones." So this is the epitaph which was written in Shakespeare's tome. Okay, see, I think we all learned how what are the theatres, and during the Elizabethan age what all happened to the theatre, and why has Shakespeare used many things in their work, and the techniques and language. I think you have learned, and I think it is very, very useful for you. If you like this video, kindly give a like and share among your friends. Kindly support my channel by subscribing, and kindly subscribe my channel. And these are all the thing where I have taken my sources. Thank you all. Thank you.